Welcome to the movies, pal. Your friendly neighborhood master Chaos here. Come on in. It's been a while. I haven't had you in the theater for quite a bit. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're well. Take a load off. Seats saved for you as always. Today we're taking a look at an early Black Friday 2022 title from SEVERIN Films. This is The 5 Days. This is, I believe, Dario Argento's fourth movie. It is right between Four Flies and Deep Red. It is his one and only comedy drama. That's right, Dario Argento made a comedy drama. Let's talk about it. This is a beautiful slip, and I'm a big fan of it. This is, of course, the original artwork. There's that as well. I'm not going to tell you what this means, but you'll see the movie, you'll know. For those of you who are curious, this is one of the better slipcovers that they've had recently. Sort of a Vinegar Syndrome style slip, so it is a nice quality slip. The packaging is quite interesting. SEVERIN definitely goes above and beyond. Of course, it is presented in 4K, which is amazing. I don't think this movie has had any kind of legitimate release, which I think that was the big deal for many reasons, because not many people were seeking out Argento's drama films, or his only drama film, really. You get a Blu-ray, and you get the soundtrack of the film here. So it is stacked, packed, and ready to whack. A 3-disc set. But is the movie worth all the bells and whistles? Well, let's get into the review. The 5 Days from 1973 is presented in Italian with optional English subtitles and runs 121 minutes. I'll admit to a bit of a prejudice with this title. I thumbed my nose to the idea of Argento attempting a comedy drama, but I'm happy to report that I was very, very wrong in prejudging this film. Dario Argento goes Fellini in this epic, engrossing, and entertaining historical comedy, adapting the unbridled chaos of Fellini and the comedic timing of silent films. Argento breaks the mold of the kind of films he makes to deliver what I am pleasantly surprised to call an electrifying masterpiece. This is a 180 from Argento's horror movies, because those feel very slow and stoic compared to the engaging aliveness of this film. This is supposed to take place within a 5-day period, but it's always daytime, so it feels like one long day. But the film is presented in an episodic nature with various segments given titles like chapters in a book, and that helps break things up. This is the story of two strangers, a thief and a baker, who find themselves partnered up for survival during the 5 days that the Austrian army stormed into Milan. One could say the tones are in competition here, because the film does switch from Harold Lloyd-type silent comedy to hangings and bloody corpses, but that didn't really bother me. It normally does, but here I think it works because we're seeing the reality through the eyes of the two main characters, and when shit gets real, then shit gets real. When things get wacky, the characters are allowed to embrace the wackiness. This is a 2-hour movie, but it never feels meandering or like a waste of time. There's always a purpose to every scene and interaction, and it feels like the movie and its characters are always heading toward a clear goal, which is something I can't say about every Argento movie I've watched, and I've watched them all. Overall, if you're looking for an Argento movie, you won't find it here. To fully embrace this movie, you've got to take his name out of your head and just see it as an Italian drama film, and I think you'll be pleasantly entertained by it. This isn't Argento's flashiest or best directed movie, but I do think it's a fantastic piece of work that deserves your eyeballs. 4 fucking stars. I loved it. I think it's such a good movie. I'm stunned. I'm honestly stunned. One of the biggest question marks for me for this entire 2022 Black Friday slate, across all the boutique Blu-ray labels, not just SEVERIN, was the 5 days in particular, because, an Argento drama, who the hell wants that? Turns out, you do, and you should watch it, because it's a really fantastic movie. Very, very well made, great performances, incredibly well choreographed. I mean, he's dealing with big crowds and things like that. I mean, this is definitely Argento playing in a different sandbox, and I think he does a very, very good job. I mean, it's not a movie where he gets in the way. You know, some of his horror films are very flashy. This isn't a flashy movie. I mean, he's basically documenting the events, and you feel like you're on the ground, you know, during the revolution and the war, and people are dying and things like that. It feels very much boots on the ground, but immediate. And it has that energy that is lacking from a lot of Argento movies where people are just kind of sitting around waiting for the killer to show up. This movie grabs you by the throat, and, you know, I was enthralled the whole movie. I'm so happy. This is the greatest discovery of the year for me. I love this movie. The 5 days is really, really, really damn good. And I think if you pick it up during the Black Friday sale, you are in for a treat. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Just make sure you approach it the right way. Don't come in, you know, expecting a horror movie. Go in expecting an Italian drama movie. Forget that Argento did. I think if you say, well, this is Argento did this, you know, get that out of your mind. Just watch it, you know, as a really unique piece of historical fiction, because that's really what it is. Now let's talk about the special features. You get an amazing audio commentary here by Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, my buddies from my live review show, All the Colors of the Dork. They do a fantastic job. Their commentaries are stellar. You get a wonderful interview with Dario Argento himself, and he talks about the why and the wherefore of this movie. Then you get interviews with Luigi Cozzi, executive producer Claudio Argento, actress Carla Tato, actress Luisa DeSantis, production manager Angelo Iacono. I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. And then lastly, conversation with Alan Jones on this movie, as well as a couple of TV spots. Every year, Severin seems to be the label that surprises me the most, with a title I didn't see coming that takes my breath away. This is the title for this year. I mean, also, this is the year that Out of the Blue came out, and that's an amazing movie, but I think people knew that was going to be an amazing movie. This one is such a surprise, like Siege, things like that. Bloodhunt is actually really good, too. 5 days is such a surprise, such a welcome surprise, and I'm so happy. This makes me happy to be a film fan, when you discover something that you know, at first you're like, I don't know about that. I don't think that's for me. But then you plunge into it, and it rewards you with such a just wonderful, rich experience. I loved it. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what. When I bought this at the you know, the screening, the recent Severin screening, you know, for the Black Friday announcements, I had already emailed a subscriber and a patron who is a big Severin fan. I said, hey, I just picked up the 5 days. I'm probably not going to keep it. Do you want it? So I had already had, you know, at least I'd reached out to somebody about possibly purchasing the movie off of me, because I was like, I'm probably not going to want this. I'm gonna get rid of this. And I watched the movie, and then I emailed that person right back and said, actually, forget it. I loved it. I think I'm keeping it. I mean, honestly, you probably get his most clearly laid out, his best written movie. Hands down. Fucking great. I loved it. That'll do, Bugaboo. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, so you and I can chat movies again, and leave me a thumbs up. I mean, I assume you have already, because you a cool motherfucker. And no, I wasn't paid by Severin, because you know. Okay, pal, thanks for joining me. Time to close the theater down. I'm going to grab the curtain, pull it across the silver screen here. I'm going to bid you adieu. I love ya. See you next time. But the theater's closed for now.